The NCPD advises those traveling beyond official police jurisdiction to wear a bulletproof vest at all times.
街の散歩にキスとゴールデン街ライブミリテク政権があらゆる場面で
Pistols are walking in the city, or a rifle for a trip out of town. Military. Protection for every occasion.
天气不错，本月夜市场平均温度一直保持在度数上的位置。建议连长不要吃好饭。
The culted music over corporate wars is back in theaters near you.
오늘 공개 오염 정보는 자주적입니다. 노약자 여러분, 야외 이름을 자제하시기 바랍니다.
From the very first stages of food production, we bring bioquality that even Mother Nature will try to freshly developed animals in a ton of all food.
NCPD の管轄外エリアに立ち入る際は常に防弾ベストの着用を推奨します。
Organic food continues to be a major cause of illness. Do not eat unlabeled candy.
像其他领域使用武器是徒手一二十成案的保护类型。
Where there's smoke, there's violence.
Enjoying the weather? Average temperatures this month in Night City have remained within human safety levels.
다른 행정자들은 조끼를 사용하는 경우 수정법 제1조의 보호를 받을 수 없습니다.
Where there's smoke,
right, we should be live.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Hello. I might actually shrink you for at least proportionately right.
Yeah, I'm just leaning in my chair a little more than you. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, guess this is it. Oh yeah. Hello everybody, and hello, welcome to the interview. All right, where's my script? Back. There.
It's under the table. You got to pull it up.
Yeah. That's a problem. I don't have my arm. I have no use for my arms right now. So, or I can't use my arms right now. So, unfortunately, I have to look around for an extra somewhere. Anyway. There we go. Hello. All right, that's it. No. And welcome to, sir, this is an interview podcast. And yes, if you were to abbreviate that, it would be STI. But is that a nice abbreviation?
I mean, it's there.
Yeah. Now here we interview VTubers. We interview VTubers, big or small, on their experiences as or after being a VTuber, and what that got them into VTubing and their attitudes towards VTubing as work, community, and a marketplace. We also aim to abide by oral history methodologies to maintain a level of chronology, narrative, and ethics, but we're always open to being everywhere with everything at once because of how chaotic VTubing can be. Also note that we are not alone in these interviews. Though for this interview, because of its brevity, we might have to skip this part. During the water break portion of our interview, the chat has a chance to question the interviewee, providing us either trivial or in-depth insights into the life of our fun and complex individual of the day. Also, for those VTubers that want to come on, our scheduling is still open. If you wish to share your story, send a message to the email in the description down below, alongside our interviewees' socials, or find it on this channel's About page, and we'll figure out a date and time. The only qualifications, as of now, are having a model, a following of around 100 on Twitch or YouTube, and or experience in some level of content creation, whether it be streaming or prepare content. How was that?
That was great.
Thank you. I stumbled a little, but I feel like I got to the end of the line there.
See, you got through it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. And this justifies the means, right?
There you go.
So, Cinder, why don't you introduce yourself? Pronouns, occupation if comfortable, and how many potatoes makes a meal for you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Cinder. I go by he, him. I'm a voice actor on occasion. And, I used to be a VTuber, but, I sometimes stream, make content. And how many potatoes make a meal is the other question.
Yeah, how many potatoes? How many potatoes would you eat in a meal?
See, all right. Now the question is, do I have to have them as base potato form, or can they be French fries?
Yeah, they can be cooked. Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, if I can make them fries, at least like 4. At least like 4 or 5.
4 potatoes. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
4 russets.
Oh yeah. One's just a snack.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Let's see. Would you consider yourself a furry?
Oh wow. It's. All right. So funny question or funny answer.
Yeah, funny answer.
We're
always open to funny answers here.
So my twin brother is actually known as Wolf of the Old War, or Battle, as they go by, and they have, I think, over like 100K followers on TikTok, or 200 or something. They're very well known in the furry community. So he's a furry. Me, I went with him to MFF, which is Midwest Fur Fest. It was my first furry convention, and it was his like 20th. Just went with him on a whim because he said it'd be a good time. So, as I was there, I got that question a lot, and people like, are you a furry? Are you a furry? I'm like, my room is full of a lot of Bowser memorabilia, and I love this character a little too much. And they're like, oh, you're furry adjacent. I was like, that's a thing. So, furry adjacent is apparently a thing, and I guess I fall into that category.
There is a scale, right? I remember there being like an internet image.
Yeah, with the little fox thingy or whatever.
Yeah. One fox, the other is like a person with animal ears.
Yeah, so a person with animal ears is, I guess, the best that I would do, because the original version of like my avatar now used to actually have like fox ears and a foxtail. So yeah, I would say that around that. Kind of like yourself, except my ears didn't look as cool as yours.
Oh, thank you. I I think the term is like kimono mimi.
Something like that. Ooh, pardon me.
Yeah, you're a Bowser boy in short.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So you would say you're a Bowser boy that associates with furries.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's like the best way to put it. Actually, yeah, you kind of nailed it. You did nail it. I'm not even gonna lie.
Awesome, thank you. So this is going to be a pretty much a different interview session compared to the ones that I usually do. Not only like brevity and not only because of its brevity, but also as we discussed on you, Cinder, you didn't spend a lot of time as a VTuber, or at least someone who used a PNG while streaming, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I typically use the PNG nowadays most of the time, only because it's way easier for my computer to handle. Like, even though I have like a RTX 3080, like this thing chugs whenever I use one of my Vroid models and stuff. Because I kind of want to say that I started out using a Vroid model back in 2020, actually, because that's when VTubing kind of blew up. And I knew a couple of people who were just getting into it. I met a couple of really cool people. Like Fumiko Hoshi is like a very good friend of mine who I've known before they became a VTuber. Thankfully, they've had a lot of success with it. Another friend of mine is Damn Dahlia, who does a lot of VTubing stuff as well. And I definitely want to say that they were both inspirations for me to get a model at some point in time. But, you know, after playing a lot of Apex Legends, which that game definitely eats away at your computer, I kind of stopped using it after a while. Though at the same time, you know, everybody's been through COVID just about. I mean, if you're on the computer right now, you know what COVID is. Like, you're not 5 or anything. But COVID was a good time to discover VTubing because, one, it gave me something to do. And two, I mean, I just had so much extra time on my hands that, you know, I can just kind of mess around and build a character that I had a lot of fun with, because like my personality, like as Cinder and as myself, is literally the same. Like, there's no difference at all. But you know, it was a fun time because, you know, I built a little lore around it and whatnot. Don't ask me what it is now because I definitely forgot because I have not been on track with that. But yeah, it was a really good time to kind of learn what it's like to fall into like the category of being a VTuber and like having a community that understands your character and just wants to see them more on screen and things of that nature. And I thought that was like really cool. But you know, as things got better over time, it got a little harder to kind of keep up with VTubing like on a daily basis, and content creation gets a little hard too. Especially like when you're doing full time and stuff, you don't really have as much time to kind of edit videos or even come up with ideas, and it gets very, very difficult. I mean, some people manage to work 40 hours a week and still, maintain being like a full-time VTuber as well, and those people are insane for that. And kudos goes to them because I definitely, it's hard. Like, as somebody who's tried, it's very difficult.
Yeah. Thank you. I thank you for that. Even though it's not directed at me, it's still like, thank you. I work for over 40 hours or something like that. It's hard.
It's super hard. And you know, like, again, sometimes people are still able to pump out content, especially like on TikTok, because I want to say TikTok is very free form, and you know, when it comes down to VTubing on there, it's very common as well. But at the same time, it's relatively easy to do because it's like short snippets of content. Like, even I had a bit of success on TikTok for a bit when I had 2 accounts, but I decided to blow up the larger one because I wanted to kind of combine the 2, and that just didn't necessarily work.
All right. Well, what about we go ahead and go where you were before you heard VTubers? What were you doing at the time?
Let's see. So before VTubing, like, all right, so I finished college around 2014. And then just for, you know, am I allowed to curse?
Oh, go ahead. This is like 16 to 18 plus.
Oh,
streaming.
fantastic. So yeah, just for shits and giggles, I decided to just start streaming. What was it? Smash 4, I think it was. And I remember I had like this really crappy Blue Yeti microphone. I borrowed like my friend's capture card and all that other stuff. And you know, before Smash 4 came out, I would have what we called poverty Smash, and I would just have like a webcam pointed at my 3DS.
Oh.
We would just play games like that online. But either way, yeah, like I started streaming back in 2014, and after a while, like things were really, really good. Viewership was pretty high. Like I was like in the hundreds, like every day, just for like playing Smash and all that other stuff. And like I kind of wanted to do something else. So, you know, I got into Destiny, and then things kind of fell off because people didn't want to watch that, because people know me for being loud and rambunctious and just having a good time. And like, I'm genuinely a very loud person. And like, I like to be hype. I like to make memorable moments and things like that. But certain games do make me a little docile. And I guess like my newer audience at that time were like, oh, why are you so sad today? And I'm like, I'm not sad. I'm trying to like kill aliens in Destiny.
I'm grinding here. I'm grinding.
I'm like, yes, literally that. I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to grind, bro. And like the thing is, I love grinding because I used to play a lot of MapleStory back in the day, and that game is just the grindiest game in existence. So whenever it comes down to like grinding in a game, I get very quiet and I get very focused, and it's fun for me to do. It's weird to say, but either way, so you know, a lot of people kind of left because of that, and then I kind of fell into obscurity when it came down to streaming, because I'm like, you know, numbers, blah, blah, blah. Got sad about it. Dropped streaming for maybe like a year or 2 years. Went to work on myself. Worked out a lot and all that other stuff. And, you know, came back a little more fit and with a better mentality. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stream just to stream and just kind of have fun with it. And, you know, that's kind of like the place that I was before VTubing and whatnot. And I'm still in that place, I guess, is like the best thing to say. Also, hi Doodles. That's that is entirely false what Doodles said. That's his MO. That's what he loves to do. Oh, speaking of Doodles, he's like I met him through streaming Smash a long time ago. Like I've known this guy for like 8 or 9 years now. And I want to say like through streaming, even like Doodles was like one of the very few people who watched me like back in the day. And I don't know how, but it blossomed from like me and Doodles like watching each other's streams here and there to us being like really good friends who play games like every other night. And yeah, that like it's long story short, it's humble beginnings, humble middle ground, and still humble right now. Just doing things to do things is where I was before VTubing, during VTubing, and after VTubing. Like just having fun with what you do. Consistency is hard. Everybody has issues with consistency, no matter if you put out videos every single day or every like 3 days, 4 days, or if you stream, same thing. As long as you're having fun with it and you're making things for you, that's all that really matters. Because I definitely want to go back to like a little bit of like the COVID tidbit that I was talking about, because I was also doing like a lot of voiceover at the time. I remember I came up with this series called Quarantine Stars, which is just B stars, but like they're in the pandemic, and like I just had a lot of fun with that, and that like kind of blew up, and I was like, maybe I could just like make VTubing content also as a part of this. But then I wasn't consistent, so it kind of fell off, and I just like kind of dismantled the idea. But I kind of do wish that I was more consistent with it, because anytime I see VTubers like yourself, it makes me just like want to like re-download VC Face and like have fun with my model, because I do have like a hand tracker as well. Like I was messing around with that for a bit and having a good time with it. But yeah, I don't know. Like anytime I see you guys, I get so inspired. I just want to stop being a PNG.
It's a grind. It's a grind.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yeah.
It definitely is for sure. And just know that your efforts in grinding are definitely appreciated, whether you see it or not. 100%.
So your stream personality, did it come from you directly, or did you have any influences before you started streaming?
I mean, I've always kind of been this way. But yeah, like I'm a very docile person, very upbeat, have a lot of fun. But when it comes down to video games, let alone fighting games, or in my opinion, Smash is not a fighting game, but when it comes down to Smash as well, I get a little rambunctious. I talk a lot of shit, and people like when I talk shit. So it just kind of became like part of me to like just always sort of do that. Like, I also do commentary for Smash, or well, I haven't done it in a few months because like I changed, careers. So I haven't really had the time for it, but I've done like a lot of Smash commentary where much like how I am now, I'm loud. I like to be a little analytical, and I definitely talk a lot of shit. And apparently people miss that because like whenever I hop into like certain streams, people are like, "Oh my God, Cinder, when are you going to commentate again?" Oh my God, I'm like, I don't know. So, I mean, yeah, like my character's personality is like the same as my own. And I know not everybody really has that, especially when it comes down to their VTubers. Like originally I wanted because I think this character, Cinder specifically, is like, it represents me the most, but is not the first and only character that I've ever had. I also had like a character who was more silent and docile, but I never really got that off the ground or got a model for it. But like I've had concepts for it, but I never really dabbled into it because I'm so used to being loud that even if I try to portray a more quiet and tender character, I wouldn't do it because the second that somebody said something dumb, I would just lose my shit. I would just get loud all over again.
You're literally like, what's that Japanese like trope? Like the two Onis? Or the two Oni trope? The blue Oni and the red Oni. One is rambunctious, the other is quiet.
I have read at all times. That's a good way to actually put that. And it's funny because again, I'm a twin brother too, and my brother is like the more level-headed one of the two of us. So oh my God, that goes really far. That's great.
Almost Freudian.
Yeah, you would think. And we're Pisces too, so that doesn't help because those are like twin fish.
Nice. Twin fish.
I swear I did not come out of a book. I promise you.
How long? Remind me. How long were you streaming before you got the model, or got the at least the PNG?
So, for PNG wise, well over. I want to say well over like 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years ago. All right.
Yep. Since 2014, I've been streaming, and I think around COVID is when I got like my original 3D model, and then my friend Magical Girl Carl, who drew this one and like animated it as well, is made the PNG for me. I guess what I'm trying to say. I'm tripping on my words a little bit here.
No, take your time. Take your time.
But yeah. So roughly 6 years before getting into VTubing and whatnot.
Were you constant after you got the model or PNG? Did you consistently use it on stream?
Yeah, I try to use it as consistently as I could. I mainly used it more for streaming rather than making just random videos and tidbits. Because definitely streaming with a VTuber is a lot easier, especially because if you have eye tracking or hand tracking in this case, it's a lot easier to express yourself and whatnot. Because for me, like, because I like doing voiceover a lot, I don't like to be on camera that much.
I got that.
Which I don't mind. Like, people already know how I look and all the other stuff, but I'm so used to expressing myself through my voice that I feel like sometimes my face is just like plain as hell, or I make really goofy faces because like whenever I emphasize my words, I also like my eyes get really big, or I widen my jaw when I scream and stuff like that. So I look kind of goofy. But with a VTuber, it helps me not have to worry about that so much because it's like people get to still see me in a capacity, and at the same time my voice is what carries me more than what I look like as well. You know, so also being able to like move around and not being a PNG, that helps emphasize. Like if I got upset at playing Spelunky and I slammed my head on a table, you would see my model freeze up and it just looks hilarious. So like things like that, you know.
Speak of your mouth, I assume the way you expand your mouth came with your time as a voice actor.
Yeah,
at least your voice work.
Yeah, because for a long time I've been into like doing fan dubs and just making like small things for friends. Like if they're like, oh, you know, I had an idea for a character and I think you'd sound really good as him. I would do stuff like that for them and like just make random things for me, like my friends, my girlfriend, or whatever. And occasionally, I would do things for people's Twitch channels as well. But yeah, it definitely comes from a world of voiceover because I've been interested in it for a long time, and like I tried to make a big push for it during COVID, which was successful because I wound up being in a game called Boyfriend Dungeon on Nintendo Switch, and I think it came out on PC like last year.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like a small indie game. It's like you date your weapons. Well, you go into dungeons with weapons, but the weapons are also people, similar to like I don't know if you've ever heard of Soul Eater. It's kind of like that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Dungeon. I'm just.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
So
I
play.
I know this one.
So I play your cousin Jesse in that, and I also play a bird named Crowley. Like
your cousin Jesse, you say?
Yes. Yeah, so that was I was in that and Sword Legacy Omen, which is like another indie game. Other than that, outside of like just doing like smaller collabs with friends and stuff like that, haven't really broken into the stratosphere in terms of the voiceover realm. But again, after COVID, well, COVID's still not over technically, but
yeah,
it's like after things started to open up again and people had to go back to work, I kind of had to like put all that aside. So like along with the VTubing and streaming and voiceover, everything kind of had to go back in their nice little corner to make room for a 9 to 5. So, everything now for me in terms of like my interests and what I do and like even VTubing, it's all just like relatively, it's grounded in hobbyism now, I want to say. So I haven't really necessarily given up on anything, but it's just making time for it is relatively difficult. It's like the best way to put it, I guess.
Oh, you definitely have at least have a catalog now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's it called? Would catalog be the best way to describe it?
Oh man.
Previous works. I mean, like.
Sports Illustrated. That's a good catalog.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. Damn. Yeah, I guess in terms of that, I wouldn't say catalog. What the hell is it?
I mean, you got a game on the Switch of all things. I mean, like,
yeah,
that's a really good thing to have your name on.
Yeah. Good portfolio. There we go. Yeah.
Ah, there we go. That's the word. That's
it.
Word
I'm like Sports Illustrated. I'm like, idiot. That is a magazine. I'm like, oh right.
Why did? Oh wait, you already answered that. But
I can answer it again.
What changed?
Just having.
I mean, no. I mean, like, what changed to made you? I mean, do you still use the PNG while on stream, or do you no longer use it?
Oh, the PNG I use a lot. Thankfully, I have a lot of really cool artist friends who have given me like different variations of Cinder. As you saw, there was one of me on a couch. It's just kind of goofy. The one I use the most is like a little gremlin that my friend Dahlia made, where it's just a little chibi Cinder with like Bowser horns and a little shell on his back. I don't know where that one is on my computer, and I'm like freaking out trying to find it. That's why I was like, all right, this one right now will do perfectly fine because it just looks like we're having a normal conversation. Oh,
go ahead. Actually, go ahead first. You first.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I do typically use PNGs more than anything, surprisingly, because again, it gives a good reference of like, hey, there's a person there behind all the video game. I guess is like the best way to put it. But I would like to use my 3D model a little more, but I don't know, man. It's either like my graphics card is not up to snuff, or Apex Legends just takes away too much because that is like the one game I play the most for reasons I do not understand.
How's your lighting?
My lighting?
Yeah, your lighting around the room.
Oh, it's not bad at all. Pretty good lighting.
Lamp, by the way.
Huh?
You have a nice lamp, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Do I actually? I'm looking around. I'm like, my lamp kind of sucks. It's off right now.
But yeah. Anyway, it's something that I had to find out with my setup. Maybe it's the lighting. Maybe try that out.
No, it's not even that. It's just the overall computer's performance. It's not even the model, thankfully. The model functions totally fine.
Yeah, I haven't run any like graphically intensive work or any graphically intensive games lately, so I could just be saying it from a point of from a perspective that I'm using low spec games.
Yep, I'm telling you, you load up a round of Apex Legends right now, your computer is gonna hate you.
Yeah,
it's gonna hate you forever.
That RAM is not going to be happy.
No. As it is, that game already takes up a lot. So for me to have to like have a VTuber on top of it, I knew it wasn't gonna work. But then again, it's like, you know, it all boils down to hardware, and I know some people, I don't know if it's still as common of a practice using two computers for streaming and things of that nature, you know?
It is. I assume it's going to be like the difference between like a main high spec computer and a lower spec computer connected somehow.
Yeah, I don't know what the wizardry they do with that.
I don't know either.
I see like 20-minute videos for that. I was like, oh no, we're not doing that. It's too much.
Would you still consider yourself a VTuber then? So you still use the PNG? More again, a VTuber within like the PNG tuber genre.
I mean, in that case, I would say yes. I would say yes, because I do like to use my PNGs consistently. Because I like having them there, and you know, especially if they're not intrusive. Like I keep them relatively small where you can just kind of notice it, not like half of the screen. You can't tell like what's going on, like no matter what I'm playing, that sort of thing. But in that respect, yes, I will say that, and especially because I also really like having my character as my mascot, like in many different capacities. So even though like
say no, I hate to interrupt you, but why would you say no?
I would say no because I don't use my actual model anymore. It makes me feel like such a fraud. I'm not even lying to you.
Well, you said that it's still on hard drive, so it still exists.
Yeah, it's still there. I got to reinstall VC Face. I don't even remember uninstalling it. That's the crazy part. I probably did it when I got Vito too.
You removed the physical hard drive instead of the data. So.
Oh no! I know what happened now. So when I had moved some of my stuff to M.2, which is like the really flat SSDs, I kind of interrupted the process of it carrying things over. And it was like, hey man, you sure you wanna do that? And I was like, yeah, I don't care, man. It's just a bunch of like Common Writer videos. I'm not losing anything. And I lost so much shit. I lost so much shit. And I didn't even realize it because again, at the time, I guess when I got the M.2, I was so used to doing PNG stuff that I didn't even see it. Do I even still have my model? Oh no, I'm panicking.
Well, there's always tomorrow to check that.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, wait, no, I still have a VTubing Mega Pack. Thank God. Okay, good.
Oh, awesome.
All right, good. Nice to know it's not all disappeared. I just got to reinstall that and whatnot. Oh, also, have you dabbled in using like hand trackers and whatnot?
I did, yes.
Do you also have Ultra Leap Pro or whatever it is?
Yeah, I have that. I use it occasionally, but considering that most of the time my model's like, I don't know, like chest is mostly
chest height.
chest up chest height most of the time. It doesn't have much use. It's more like a beginning or end of the stream thing.
Okay, see, so I wanted to ask you a question about that because the way that I would have it is I took what is it? I took a neck holder for a GoPro camera and I put Velcro on where the GoPro part is supposed to be so it could be around my neck and that way it could track my hands. But apparently you could also do it by putting it on the table flat and it could track your hands. And I'm like, I don't know if that works. Does everyone do it like that? Like I need opinions.
I find the best tracking would be with a chest thing. Or at least it hanging from your neck.
See, now the thing is, I agree with you because again, I've had it like that for a while. But there are times where if I'm just like, just playing games on the keyboard and mouse, my model's hands would just jump up and you would just see him doing the same thing. And I'm like, no, go down, go down. I don't want my hands up right now.
I feel that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was just genuinely curious because, like,
No,
again,
I gotcha.
Thank you. And I don't know. I think Ultra Leap did like a software update once, and like my computer was just not having it. It's like, bro, I don't know what this is, and I'm like, it's the same hardware, brother. Like, please do your best. Oh man, so I don't know. I still have all the stuff to do it, but maybe I should. Oh, Vivi, it's my bubby.
Hey.
I love Vivi.
Let's see. Why would you consider yourself a fraud as a VTuber?
Only reason.
Not using the model, but go ahead.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm a fraud in terms of like whenever it comes down to VTubing because one, I don't use my actual model a good chunk of the time, unfortunately. So I know that kind of changes everything into like being a PNG tuber, but not even just that. I feel like there's a huge stigma behind VTubers actually being people. Because I remember, like, I don't know, I think it was like on Twitter or something that people were in uproar because it's like, oh, my VTuber has a real face. It's ruined. I hate it.
Oh, you mean
like,
the VTuber versus real life trend?
Yeah.
Hashtag?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with I think one girl from V Shoujo. I forgot her name. Lilith, I think.
I think it was, yeah.
I think so. She was a lich, if I remember.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure that's the one. But yeah, it was around that where people were like, "Oh my god, if you show your face, you shouldn't be a VTuber anymore." And I'm like, brother, I did that like 6 months ago. I was like, damn, I am exposed already. But again, there was a lot of back and forth between that in terms of like what was happening in the VTuber community, and like some VTubers were like, "Hey man, sorry you feel that way. Here's my face, by the way." And I'm like, you know what? You're cool. I like that shit. Good job. Good for you. Yeah, I don't know. Like it made me feel at the time, and like I guess that kind of carried over where I'm like, oh, I showed my face. That's it. I'm exiled. Like I'm a fraud now. It's just kind of carried over like that sort of mindset. So I was unsure. I know. Everyone knows who I am now. They know my face. They know my VTuber face and my real one.
Was there ever a thought that came into your head while starting out VTubing that you should like scrub the internet of your face just to have that level of security?
Yeah,
because
you know what?
A good chunk of the reason why we VTubers use models is the level of security because it's not our faces.
That's true. I mean, like I've had that sort of be a thing before where I'm like, oh shit, people already know how I look. Or like Vivi said, oh my god, is that famous TikToker battle? So it's like whether people know how I already look, people will always know how I look because I always refer to Battle and people know how Battle looks. And it's like, oh, you two are twins, so that's how Cinder looks. So even if I tried my best to like scrub my face from the internet, I would have to start off entirely fresh, which I thought about doing recently. I would have to start off entirely fresh and not link myself to my brother in any capacity whatsoever.
Which will be difficult because there's likely a lot of his pictures with you in it.
Oh, absolutely. And like not even just that, it's just like I don't know what it is. People say that my voice is like very memorable. So I feel like if I like ever did have like a brand new like iteration of like a VTuber that I wanted to do like character wise, like even if I was like fully in character and all that stuff, I feel like people would be like, oh my god, I know that fucking guy. That's Cinder. It's like, no, come on, man, please. Like, just let me be, dude. Let me be. What if I wanted to be a cat boy for all of like 12 hours in a week and people know it's me, dude? Like that sort of thing.
How are streams nowadays? Are you still pulling in the hundreds that you were previously? Oh, that sounds. Oh, good. Good.
Hell no! Are you kidding me? No, like for me, like I'm very inconsistent with streaming now because I'm working all the time, and on top of that, like I don't know. I feel like in terms of my variety of games, I always like to stick to one game, and I don't want to bore people with that too much. So I don't really stream unless I'm doing something new, or if I have like a different like kind of challenge run that I want to do. So on average, I think my usual like viewer count's like 15 or 20. I usually have it off and I don't really check. But sometimes I'll get curious and I'll look back at the VODs or stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's like I might not stream that often now. Like before, back in the day, I'd be like, oh, people aren't watching me. I don't want to stream. I don't even care about that now. Now it's like if I have the energy to do so, I will. Or if I'm playing something, I will. If I'm playing something that's hopefully not Apex Legends, I'll do it. Best example of that was before I got my current job back in February. I had something that, yeah, I stream twice a year. There we go. That is accurate. Everybody says that. But let's see. Last February, I had something that I called Final February, which it was ironically, I had a bunch of different Final Fantasy challenge runs that I planned out, which were all literally just me going through Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and 10 using only the attack button in combat, which was pretty damn interesting. I had a really good time with it. Like, again, it was like a whole month-long thing that I was streaming like almost every day for. And again, like that was before like when I was transitioning jobs. So I had the time to do it and all that other stuff. And like I started to realize like if I really did have all the time that I wanted to, I probably would stream often. I would create content often and things of that nature. And then at the same time, I think, you know, I'm 33 years old, still playing video games and things of that nature or whatever. But like the age part doesn't bother me in terms of like doing it. Like, oh my God, I play video games when I'm 33 years old. No, the age thing kind of gets to me sometimes because I'm like, am I just like too old to be considered relevant at any point in time? And I feel like that kind of held me back for a while, like for quite some time, until I did like, again, play like when I was streaming Final February for that entire month, I was like, no, it's not an age thing. It's a time thing. Like I have no time to just like sit and stream and like just do fun little challenges and things and just like be here all day for people to kind of like enjoy and stuff. Because when it comes down to any capacity of streaming, some people get upset because people don't talk in their chat. Some people get upset because they don't see numbers and things like that. And like, as somebody who's had a talkative chat before and has had numbers before, you just got to do it for you at the end of the day. Like, I love when people ask me questions about streaming. They're like, oh, how did you get into streaming? And how do I become like a good streamer? And I always tell them, I'm like, listen, if you're going to stream or you're going to make content, two things have to be known. One, do it for you first and foremost. Two, do it even if nobody's watching or if nobody's commenting or nobody's saying anything or the views aren't there or anything like that. As long as you're doing something for yourself to enrich, like, you know, your life, whether you have no views on your streams, whether you have no views on your videos, you're building a catalog and you're putting yourself out there all the time. And that's what matters the most at the end of the day, because whether you realize it or not, there's always going to be at least one or two people who look at your stuff. Whether it's for 30 seconds, whether it's for 30 minutes, whether it's for 3 hours, there's always going to be a group of people who find your stuff. And even if they don't say anything or they don't comment or anything, they'll always keep finding your stuff and they'll always keep watching you no matter what. So I'm like, let those invisible people, those lurkers, as we say, like on Twitch and whatnot, just let them do their thing and you do yours. And, you know, you never know if it's going to blow up into something. Sorry, I kind of went on a little bit of a tirade.
No, keep talking. I don't mind. Do you think you'll ever get to the point at which you feel like you're too old to do things?
At this point, fuck no. I'm already really old now. I'd rather be grandpa streamer.
You have too much skin into this already.
I'm like, screw it, man. I've been streaming for damn near a decade. Next April will make 10 years of me fucking streaming. Am I gonna do anything special? No, not at all. But Nah, yeah, I mean, if I ever get like the time to ever like stream consistently or things of that nature, I think I'll give it a shot again. Sure, because like again, having that whole month off gave me a shit ton to do. Having COVID off gave me a whole bunch to do. It's just I don't have the time. So you figure maybe when I'm 85 and I'm able to retire, I'll have maybe like 2 weeks of streaming and then keel over or something. That's entirely a joke, of course. But yeah, it's just a time thing. Like, again, for now, like a lot of my streams are just very unannounced. Like, if you see me on Twitch, you see me on Twitch, and if you don't, you don't. But in terms of consistency, I live a life where my schedule is always like crazy, and there's always just a bunch of different shit happening, or I don't have the energy to do things. And it's life's life. Like, sometimes you want to do things, sometimes you don't, and just trying to get past it all and make time for content and wanting to grow is like really the hard part. Like, some people, again, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, have a massive drive to do content or streaming or anything else, even while managing a full-time job. And I don't know how they don't burn themselves out, and I don't know how they always have ideas, but they do it. Unfortunately, like, as much as I hope, wish, and dream, I am not one of those people. Unless I have like time to dedicate, I can't do it. But it doesn't mean that anybody can't do it. You never know unless you like actually put the most effort that you can. Because again, like, the best case scenario that I could give is my friend Fumi. Like, I've known Fumi before she became a VTuber, and she really tried her best in terms of like just making content and doing things and having fun with it. And then at some point she's like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna plan ahead, and I'm just gonna make things work. And now she's fucking kicking ass. And I love that shit. So I'm like, if my friend could do that after like putting a lot of thought and actually planning ahead on what they wanted to do to make these things work and actually investing in their character and their brand and just community, and actually like, again, like putting their all into it rather than just it is what it is, that sort of thing, day in, day out. When you plan ahead, it can turn into almost anything, and again, that's been very inspiring for me. And that's why I was like, maybe one of these days I'll probably do that. Like, but the thing is, I'm so attached to the name Cinder that I have ideas for other things. But again, no matter what, even if I have like a bunch of friends like Doodles and Vivi and like anybody else who's out there who support me through it, they're always going to see me as Cinder. And that kills me inside because it's like, damn, I love this. I like this identity so much that I want to just like keep it going, because again, you have to have belief in not just like your name, but your character and just like all the effort and everything that you put into it. Like, do you not see the background that you have behind us? This is beautiful.
Thanks.
I do not have anything close to this.
I didn't make it.
Well, the point is, you have it here. I have a void. Like, that's way different. Like, you put so much effort into this, and I love that. Like, I like that a lot. So like, this is like one of those times where it's like, I feel like I'm literally sitting in your house and I'm like, damn, I wish my house was this nice. Like,
look, if I could give you cheese and crackers, I would.
What is that? Charcuterie board? Charcuterie?
Hey, we in Pennsylvania, we call that a veggie platter. Get that New Jersey high class shit out of here.
You said a veggie platter?
Yeah, a veggie platter.
What the fuck? But there's meat and cheese. What do you mean?
And vegetables, and maybe a dressing in the middle.
Who the fuck is putting vegetables on a charcuterie board?
Hey, it's called a veggie platter for a reason.
Man, are you kidding me? Oh shit! You should have just said you lived in Australia. I definitely would have believed it.
Well, we are down under somewhere.
Oh man. Oh, see, like Doodle said, like, I will call people by the first thing I know them as, even when Cinder becomes Frostcut.
Frostcut? Where does that come from?
It's just literally the opposite of Cinder Slash. Oh,
I see.
I hate it so much.
What could definitely lead you to streaming consistently?
Oh, honestly, like, if I had a lot of time. Oh, I know what. Winning the goddamn lottery, because then I don't have to leave my house. No, but in all realness, again, yeah, if I had much more time, that would lead me to consistently streaming more. I try and keep up on my health too. So it's like at some point I was like super fit. Then after COVID, now I'm a little chonky, but I still work out like 3 or 4 days a week. So if I stop working out and if I had an extra day off from work, I think would be like the best case scenario. But oh my God, would I get even chunkier? And I don't want to do that. So I'm like, listen, we're just going to have to deal.
You definitely needed like a stream life work balance, right?
Yeah. Though, like one of those is definitely a very healthy thing to have because, you know, burnout is also a thing too. Because I've definitely been in a case of burnout. Like I remember when I was making Quarantine Stars during COVID, I would get a lot of comments where people were like, yo, these are fucking great. You should slow down though. And I'm like, no, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep on making content. I can do this shit forever. And then like after like 4 weeks, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to look at another episode of Beastars. I'm going to vomit. Like this is hurting my brain now. But yeah, long story short, and not to be stupid. Yeah, definitely some extra time, and time management is the best way to put it. So an extra day of the week. And if I had like, again, like if the gym was down the street from my house rather than 20 to 30 minutes away, that would make life so much easier because that's me saving an hour. And you can do almost anything in an hour, like that sort of thing. Like just small changes would probably make me stream a bit more consistently, and having something to do, like a game plan. Because, you know, people make schedules and things of that sort. I've not made a schedule a single time because whenever I do stream, it has to be based on what I want to do right now. So like, if I'm like, oh, do I want to play Apex right now? Yes, we check that box. Do I want to stream right now? No, that box gets unchecked and the whole thing goes out the window. But if I have like something in mind where like for a little bit, I think like a handful of times I was doing like Enter the Gungeon speedruns. So I was in the mood to do that and I was in the mood to stream it because in terms of like, I guess what I want to start doing more is like challenge runs of things. But again, it boils down to planning out what kind of games I want to have challenges to, making an idea for those challenges. And on top of that, having the will to stream it. Having the will to stream it is probably like the hardest thing to have because anybody can play games, sure. But do you want to maintain an entertaining personality? Do you just want to be quiet? Do you want to be loud? Do you want to like just relax? Do you want to absolutely silent? Like some people have streams where they just type that sort of thing, but I can't do that. That's like too much alt tabbing. But yeah, it all boils down to that sort of thing, you know?
So nowadays, what are you doing in terms of content creation?
Oh man, fuck all.
What a splendid answer.
Thank you. Now, what my main grind was for a little bit was making party animals videos because I love that video game a lot. And on top of that, it's a lot of fun to play with friends, for sure. And when I had because at some point I tried to split, I guess my brand is the best way to call it, into like 2 different things. So I had channel for voice acting and me doing different like fan dubs and ideas like that. And I had a video games channel where I put like, I don't know, different like TikToks of me playing random games. And I had like a party animals video that had like 13 million views on it and like 1 million likes on TikTok. And I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm actually not. So earlier when I mentioned that I deleted one of like my TikTok and YouTube channels, it was my video games channel. And it was doing better than my regular one for a lot of reasons. Because, you know, video games are very relatable. You see something funny happen, you post it to a friend. And doing voiceover is a little more difficult, a little more niche, because like I did a lot of fan dubs in terms of anime, and that breaks into a different genre and stuff like that. Whether people find it relatable or funny, or they even like the anime to begin with, it's entirely up to them. Because you could just be scrolling, and the second you see JoJo, someone goes, "Oh, I hate JoJo's," and then they just go past it. So stuff like that. But it was a little tough for me to delete the video game channels because I'm like, man, that's a lot of views, that's a lot of numbers. And then I break it down to myself, and I'm like, you know, a number's just a number, but you having fun with your stuff is another thing. Like the numbers will just sit there and do nothing for me. I would rather get rid of those numbers and then try and regrow it with my regular name instead of having Cinder / video games. I'm like, that's I don't like that. So yeah, I got rid of those. But oh shit. Sorry, I'm rambling again. Like I'm trying to remember the question.
It's all good. Keep rambling. I don't mind.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, you first, please.
Well, what projects are you a part of right now in terms of voice work?
Well, nothing really, because I've taken like a small hiatus from it. Like outside of doing, let's see, I do like Twitch notifications for my friend Sensei CJ. So I guarantee if you ever see his stream, you're gonna hear my voice at least like 70% of the time. Because he has like a lot of redeems for his chat where it's like different kinds of moves and stuff from like anime, and just like there's different factions and stuff, and I voice all of them, so people are just like always having like a little all-out war in his chat, and like it's really cool to see. So that's like something that I'm actively doing like on a monthly basis. Other than that, I haven't really made a video in a while because I haven't really had time to like sit down and collect VODs and just kind of watch over and find what funny things I can take out of like sort of clips from stream is the best way to put it. Outside of like party animals, I haven't made anything like that. I have tried to do more fan dub stuff, but fan dubs, like my brain is very picky about because it all ranges onto like, if I'm watching something and I just kind of voice it over in my head and just think of something goofy at the time or like a little scenario, and I'm like, haha, that's so funny. Like there was a clip in Demon Slayer where I think it was Zenitsu, he was like drinking a tea. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what if that was like gamer girl bathwater? And like I made a whole little thing about that where he has a bathwater addiction. He's like yelling at his friends that like, oh, it's good for me. It's not a problem and blah, blah, blah. So it's like my brain will think of something funny like that. And then I'll just like kind of run with it. But I guess like I haven't really been watching all that much anime because I've been so busy with work and all this other stuff that like I haven't had any ideas or any inspiration or motivation because right now, like, life is just being life, and I just haven't had time to really sit with it. And for me, if I try and sit down and like really try and go through and like comb through different anime and shows that I watch and try and think of something funny on the spot, it's like somebody literally looking at you, turning to you and be like, hey, say something funny. it's like and like you just don't know how to react. So I don't know. I like, for me, content has to come really naturally. And again, like this is why I always applaud people who have like a set format or who can come up with things like on the fly, like consistently and all that other stuff, because I don't know how they're able to do it. Like I had my streak of being able to do it for a little bit, but having that as like a consistent sort of thing for weeks, months, years, that sort of thing, I am inclined to believe that those people are not human. Like they come up from a different astral existence that I just don't know about.
They're pillarmen.
Yes, yeah, literally. Oh man, I wish I had a button for that. Except I have a button for. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. They're literally pillarmen. Like I don't know how they do it.
Are there any projects or anything that you'd like to promote? Especially that as Dark Doodles puts a 24-hour stream for your anniversary.
I mean, I got nothing in mind right now. However, I am gonna be changing careers again by the end of this week. So that is going to give me roughly maybe a week or 2 weeks of free time. So I was considering doing something akin to like Final February where I had before, or maybe like a 24-hour stream. Like I haven't really decided because again, I'm the type of guy where if I go live on Twitch and like I'm terminally online in terms of Twitter, like if you ever like send me a DM or something or just tag me in something, I will look at it at one point or another. If I stream, I do not post shit to Twitter. Like I don't do it because I don't want to like, you know, I don't want to like clutter anyone's feed. Like I know like the strat is to like post that you're going live or doing something and then like erasing it or something like that.
I didn't know that was a strat.
Yeah, apparently it is.
I always keep mine post around like
That's what I do too. I'm like, I keep my shit around. Like whatever, it's fine. But I don't know. I should post often or like post whenever I do go live on like different websites or social medias and stuff like that. But again, like for me, streaming and like even like PNG tubing and all that other stuff, it's become more of a hobby for me considering time constraints. And I'm not going to say like, oh, I give up on it entirely. Like, no, because you never know what'll happen. Maybe like an old clip of something will blow up or whatever. And like people want to see more of your stuff and you'll have like a catalog of it, you know, or even like just again, like just clip your streams. Like if you're streaming and just like have those funny moments on hand or make a compilation or something. You never know what it's going to do. But again, I do it mainly as a hobby these days and like just to give myself something to do where it's like, oh, I'm having fun playing this game. Even if somebody needs this to like, even if somebody wants to have this in the background while they're like just scrolling through Twitter or Reddit or something.
It is a podcast.
Yeah. Like it's nice because even like for me, like I'll have like a stream or something in the background as I'm doing something else. So if I could provide that white noise for somebody else, then I'm more than happy to do it, you know? Mm-hmm. Like I love that sort of thing. And again, like lurkers will always be important to me. And like I guess anybody else who streams too, because you never know who's watching and who's listening and who's having a good time. And as long as it like I say something stupid or I fuck up somewhere and somebody laughs and whatever, like that's all I care about. Just make a little memory for them, help their day go along a little better, you know?
I know. Yeah. How are you feeling right now?
Not as inebriated as I thought I'd be, but yeah.
Good. You are filled with determination.
Yes. Oh, sorry. You just reminded me. I never played Deltarune yet, so I got to get through that at some point in time. I know nothing about it.
Me neither.
Oh, what? Really? Have you played Undertale?
Except like that, except the intro, I suppose, and the memes that came out after that.
Oh, like Chris, where the fuck are we? Yeah, those are funny. I'm not gonna lie. Those are fucking great. Now that you reminded me, I think I wanted to do like a replay of Undertale going into Deltarune because Undertale, like, at the time, I remember Vivi used to be like, yo, this game's great. I'm like, Undertale sucks. I don't care. Undertale sucks. I don't care. This is stupid. So then somebody wound up getting me the game. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll play this stupid game and I'll voice over it or whatever. And by the end of the game, I was in fucking tears. It was great. I was like, oh my God, this game's so good. But you never know.
You never know. And knowing is half the battle.
It is. Oh, wait. G.I. Joe.
Also, apparently Transformers.
What?
Yeah.
Get the fuck
I
out
suppose.
Of here.
Look. My memory of that is based off of the extras from the Transformers video game, the one that takes Transformers Armada.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is the same company, right? Mattel, Milton Bradley, or something.
Mattel has.
Oh, son of a bitch! Oh, wait, yeah, and I heard something about GI Joe's in like the last Transformers movie at the end, or something like that.
I don't know.
Oh shit! Well, spoiler.
I don't know.
Landmine.
It's a welcome. I guess it's a welcomed little detail.
Now you know what to expect. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. All right. Do you think you'd like to take on some chat questions, or should we wrap this up?
Oh yeah, I'll take on some chat questions. I don't mind.
All right, chat. We are going to take a little. We're going to take questions before we end this. So ask away. Ask what Cinder wants to. What you want to ask.
In the meantime, I will serenade.
Yeah, go ahead. Just ask away.
Actually, I'm hitting those kind of good today.
They are really good.
Oh my god, damn! The reverb just makes the difference, huh?
Did you do choir before?
No, my singing is absolutely garbage. I cannot sing at all. I wish I could. I wish I could sing and play an instrument if that means anything. But I will not take the time to do either because I'm too lazy to.
I feel that.
To be so honest.
I thought of picking up the bagpipes at some point.
Really?
Yeah, but it's expensive to get into.
Oh my god! Well, like $1,200 for a bagpipe?
I think so. If not, over $2,000.
Oh my God. You know what you do? You buy a vacuum from the 1950s. you put a few pipes on it. You know, you got to measure it out. Maybe get the holes the right size. Give it a shot.
No, I'll probably look into something like that.
You're gonna turn a vacuum cleaner into a bagpipe, or?
I mean, if I can find one with a bag, at least.
You know what? I believe in it. It could work. You never know. It'll be like, look, this person made their own bagpipe. That's crazy.
Oh, we got a question from Zeku. What kind of content do you think is most neglected by current VTuber current VTuber scene, or would you like to see more of?
Let's see. I think a lot of VTubers have covered so much ground in terms of like different genres of content creation and whatnot. Like I remember, I forget her name. I think I don't want to butcher it. I think it's Camilla or something. Romola. I think it's Romola. Like at some point I was like, why are there no fighting game VTubers or anything like that? Romola, they're a cow.
Melia?
I think so. I haven't seen them stream in a while, but they're like a cow VTuber. They do fighting games. Fumi does fighting games, things like that. I want to see more VTubers get into like voice acting and stuff like that as well. Because granted, you know, there's like, yeah, Romola, thank you. I was like, I know there's somebody who does it, and they're a cow. The cow is the most important part. But I feel like a lot of VTubers don't get into voice acting or voiceover as much as I would like to see them do it. Because granted, like a good chunk of VTubers, once again, portray a character. And so it's like, if you can portray a character or your specific character for hours on end during a stream, I'm pretty sure you can play just about anybody in any game. So, you know, Baldur's Gate is like the best way to kind of do that, I want to say, especially if like you're doing a playthrough with friends. Like just immerse yourself as someone else, as yourself, but not yourself. If that makes any sense.
Elsewise.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. So, you know, something like that. I feel like I don't see VTubers do that a whole lot because, you know, there's nothing wrong with sticking to your guns. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's always okay to break dimensions. Like, you know, do something a little different and make your chat go, oh, shit, I wish you had two characters now. Because you never know. You never know. But yeah, just VTubers getting into more voice acting and more voiceover, I think would be very cool, especially because a lot of VTubers have very nice voices. Kind of similar to yourself, by the way. You have a very charming voice.
Oh, of course, you're listening to the unaltered voice.
Either way, I still enjoy it. Your cadence is so nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So when are you getting into voice acting video games?
I don't know. I guess I just need some connections.
Hey, well, if you
I don't
ever
even
need
know
tips,
if my cadence is appropriate or something.
Listen, well, if you ever wanted to try or something, let me know. I can probably throw some advice your way.
All right, I'll think about it. I mean, we are contacts on Discord after all.
There you go, and Twitter.
Hey. And Twitter, exactly.
Or X, as they say now. God, I will never call this site X in my life. No.
I know.
I refuse.
It's like a porn site.
I mean,
don't get me wrong. It is. But it's just not. But here's the thing about Twitter. It's a site, but with porn on it. That's the difference.
There you go. Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Yeah,
anytime someone sends me a link and says x.com, I'm like, I'm at work right now. I'm not touching that. I'm not trying to get fired, bro. I'm like, oh, it's Twitter. Fuck. Oh, my bad. Shit.
I know, right? All right. Let's want to wrap this up.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, everyone. We will be concluding this episode of the show. Thank you very much for coming to the stream. Or the VOD. Thank you very much, Cinder, for your time. You chatters and VOD watchers will be able to find his socials down in the description below, like I mentioned before. If you didn't listen to me in the beginning or just joining, check him out, like, subscribe, and yeah, have a good time. Have a good time, y'all.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, babies.
오늘 공기오염 경보는 자주적입니다. 노약자 여러분은 야외 활동을 자제하시길 바랍니다.
이거네요. 지도하고 무기력하시다고요. 이젠 그만 크로마티코의 16가지 새로운 맛으로 맥세라!
Be aware that using firearms against other road users is not protected by the Second Amendment.
산성미가 내린 경우 호흡기 질환이 있으신 분들은 야외 활동을 자제해 주시기 바랍니다.
Don't be fooled by foreign propaganda. You get the latest, trusted scoop on Night City, only on N54 News. The NCPD advises those traveling beyond official police jurisdiction to wear a bulletproof vest at all times.
他の走行指示に対する重機の使用は修正ライン上で保証されるものではありません。
Can a heart explode out of love? The cult hit musical Corporate Wars is back in theaters near you.
운전자 여러분, 주의해 주시기 바랍니다. 지정 장소에 주차시 또는 미리 전자조작을